For a long time, if you've wanted a high refresh rate monitor, you'd have to spend at least 40 grand. However, many of our prayers may have been answered with the Elite Gaming 27-inch monitor. 165Hz refresh rate along with a 144p IPS panel at only 30 grand. Are there any compromises? Or is this a bang for the buck deal? Well, stick around and find out. To give you a gist of the specs, it is a 27-inch 144p IPS screen with a 165Hz refresh rate along with AMD FreeSync. It also has a 2 millisecond gray to gray response time along with a max brightness of 350 CDs. Let's jump straight into the aesthetics of this piece of machinery. The monitor has a gamery gray minimalistic look to it with a bit of underglow and RGB at the back. It doesn't have any logos anywhere, but it features some lines at the bottom lip of the bezel. The rest of the bezel is moderately thin. The RGB lights only have 4 presets, but they do add a nice bit of flair to your setup, especially if your keyboard and mouse have RGB. And if you're not into it, you can just hold down the button and turn it off. Coming to the buttons, there are 6 at the back. The top one is for the RGB, and the rest of the 5 at the bottom are for the display. The bottom one being the power button. The navigation might be a bit confusing at first, especially for all the buttons being at the back, but I got used to it after a couple of days. There are 2 HDMI ports and 2 display ports, along with a headphone jack, which is pretty standard for this price range. The monitor stand you get with this is amazing. The height can be adjusted very easily. It can tilt and turn completely 90 degrees, and rotate too. The base is simple and small, which doesn't get in the way of the mouse, unlike many other monitors I've seen in this price range. However, the monitor does wobble slightly if you move your desk or if you vigorously shake your legs while in an intensive gaming session. However, overall, I am very impressed with this monitor stand. Now let's take a look at the main part of the monitor, the display. The monitor supports 165Hz through the display port and 144Hz through the HDMI port. As someone who's transitioned from a 60Hz display, it felt amazingly smooth, and the ghosting was very minimal, but it was still there. There is an MPRT option, which reduces the ghosting effect, but I noticed putting it in high gives it a slight reddish inverse ghosting, so medium or low would be the optimal option if you want to really take advantage of it. Using MPRT will also reduce the brightness of the display. With 165Hz and MPRT turned on, the display felt almost cinematic. However, I personally had a better experience when I turned on FreeSync, as while gaming, my frames do drop below 165 frames, which also brings me to tell you that you cannot use FreeSync and MPRT at the same time, so you should keep that in mind. For people who aren't as tech savvy, all of what I said just basically means that the performance is really good for the price. Well, sadly, there is just one big compromise, which might be a deal breaker for productivity and enthusiasts, and it's the color reproduction. The monitor does feature sRGB settings and 10-bit color settings in the AMD software. However, out of the box, the colors felt slightly dull, and on the cooler side. A lot of the dullness went away after tampering with the onboard settings of the monitor. However, it still was not up to par as my MX279 at the back here. It's not a deal breaker for most people, especially if you just want to play some competitive games like CSGO or Valorant, and even get some productivity done. However, I would advise you to look elsewhere if you do projects which are color accurate. Overall, I think it's an amazing deal for the money, especially if you're someone who wants to experience 144p gaming without breaking the bank, or if you're someone who wants a smooth, high refresh rate gameplay at a bigger display. Understandably, the biggest flaw of this monitor is a brand name, and even personally, I have never heard of Elite Gaming, but from their first monitor or their products so far, I can say that this is overall an amazing deal. You can purchase this monitor off of blisstyle for 30,000 takas or 30k, and if anything goes wrong, you can claim their warranty, which will be a 1-year replacement warranty from them. I'll leave a link down in the description, you can go check it out. Thank you so much for watching till now. This was my first monitor review, so excuse me if I made any mistakes. But if you enjoyed the video till this far and you've watched it till now, do consider subscribing and leaving a like. It really helps me out. Thank you so much for watching again, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.